My next guest is a lead gen expert. She helps coaches scale beyond 10K by generating consistent leads and building an engaged Instagram community so they can sell with ease. Please welcome Christina Wirch. Welcome to the Powerful Female Leaders Podcast. I'm your host, Anna Patricia Bourgeois, certified business coach. I am here to help you up-level, generate consistent wealth, increase your confidence, attract dream clients, and master your mindset so that you can fully own your power and achieve next-level results in your online business and beyond. Every week, a powerful conversation will take place with amazing guests, or I'll share from my experience to help inspire you to start and scale the business of your dreams while being powerfully you. The time has come to stop playing small, stop hiding, and stop waiting. Now is the perfect time for you to passionately pursue your heart's desire as the powerful leader you were born to be. Are you ready? Let's do this. Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of the Powerful Female Leaders Podcast. Today I'm with Christina. Hi, Christina.
Hi, thank you so much for having me. I really appreciate it.
Yeah, of course. I'm so excited to have you here. I just love everything about you, all that you do. I've been following you on Instagram for a while now, and it's just so inspiring to see all your success. Like I saw your latest post about one of your clients who had a amazing month. Can you talk to us more about that?
Yeah, absolutely. So I do lead gen and engagement for coaches. And my amazing client, Demi, just had a 30K launch. And then just before that, had a 24K launch. And yeah, it was absolutely incredible. I am amazed by how well she's been doing. And I feel so fortunate to be a part of everything that she's been doing.
Oh my gosh, this is amazing. That's like wow, out of this world. Can you tell us more exactly what you do as a lead gen expert?
Absolutely. So it's kind of two parts. Like the first part is I go out there and I help you to find your dream clients on Instagram. And then I engage with them and nurture those leads so that they go from cold to warm to hot so that when you go to launch your next offer, that they're ready to buy from you. And so with Demi or any of my other clients, I provide daily engagement for them and really just am a support for them so that we can have consistent leads coming into their audience and really build an engaged Instagram community of raving fans that really want to be a part of what they're doing so that the coaches can increase their impact and ultimately increase their income.
Yes, amen. I love that. That's so good. Um, so what really motivated you to become a lead gen expert? Like what was it about the work or the clients you work with that really like you were like, "Oh my gosh, I want to do this." Like this is so inspiring to me.
To be honest, I kind of stumbled into it by accident.
Oh.
It was not something I had planned on, but I started off as a VA offering kind of every service under the sun. I was basically being a generalist and speaking to everyone, but
Mhm.
ultimately speaking to no one. And then I started to talk about lead gen and engagement as part of my content, and I had an overwhelming response from my audience that this is what they were interested in, that this is what they
Mhm.
wanted support with. And so I listened and I niched down to focus just on that one particular topic. And that's really when my business took off and when I started to book out my offerings and really be able to achieve those results for my clients.
Wow. So let's talk about it. Let's talk about niching down. Like how important that is. Can you give us more a tip or an insight into what niching down really means for you and why it's so crucial?
Absolutely. To me, niching down is specializing in one particular area because I've truly found, both for myself and for my clients, that when you specialize on one topic, you are much more effective in reaching your audience, that they're
Mhm.
going to take you more seriously. You're going to build more authority online, and you're really going to be able to achieve those results both for yourself and for others. Because when you're trying to offer anything and everything, then it's, like people don't want to hire a generalist. Like if you're going in and you need to have surgery, you want to have, the best cardiologist helping you versus, like
Mm-hmm.
the, general family doctor, right? And I find that by niching down, it really also allows you to focus more effectively on your business. Because when I was trying to offer podcast management, general VA, social media management, all those kind of things, it was hard to focus on my content, to know what to
Mm-hmm.
talk about that day, how to really drive home, that I knew how to do each area to my audience. And so niching down, I think, really just helps you to have a better focus for your business.
Yes, absolutely. So, what would you say to someone who's having like a hard time niching down and making a decision and sticking with it?
I think the biggest thing would be to ask your audience what they need, because
Mm-hmm.
I found that when I did that, that's where I got that overwhelming response that this is the topic that they were looking for help and support with. So I would also pay attention to what content is performing the best on your feed, even looking at your insights to see which ones are getting the most engagement or the most responses, and even to do the market research, whether it's posting questions in your stories or hopping on calls with people. Or I even did market research just in the DMs, where I'd say, like, guys, ask you one quick market research question. And I found that people were always very generous with their time and more than willing to, provide those answers.
Mm-hmm. Yes, absolutely. Oh, I love this. I love this so much. I could talk about this all day.
Me too. It's my favorite topic.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. So, what would you say is the common fear that comes up a lot with the coaches that you work with? Like, what are they telling you they need help with the most? And what would you like to say to maybe coaches who are listening right now and they're like, oh, I'm not sure about this, I'm not sure about that. Like, what would you say to them?
So I think there's two things that come to mind. The biggest two would be that they either don't know where to find their client on Instagram, and then the other would be that they're really nervous or stressed out about the idea of initiating the conversations in the DMs. I find that
Mm,
so many coaches overthink it, and then they end up not sending a message at all, which ultimately means that you're not building that connection with your potential
mm-hmm,
clients and ultimately not landing the sales. And so, what I like to
mm,
tell my clients is it's better to take messy, imperfect action than no action at all. So, the message might not be 100% perfect, but it's better that you send something than not send anything. And so I tell them to try and, like, picture that you're talking to this person at a coffee shop, just like you would, if you're sitting there with your best friend, and just keep it very friendly, very intentional, and just very casual. And look at things in their stories or on their feed that you guys have in common, and just build off of that. So whether it's, you have a dog, I have a dog too, or I saw you went to Starbucks today, what's your go-to order? Just, things like that will make it really easy to get a conversation started in the DMs. And then you can kind of go from
yes.
there.
So basically being human.
Absolutely. Yeah. It's just treating the person like a person. And
Yeah.
just I always think too, like, what would I like somebody to say to me? Or, what's the
Mhm.
question I can ask? Like, maybe start off with a compliment followed up by a question, because that's the other thing too, is making sure you ask a question so there's something for them to engage back to you with.
Yes. So that's practically what you do for your clients, right?
Absolutely. Yeah. I will find the ideal clients for them on Instagram, and then I engage with them. So I will initiate the
Mhm.
conversations in the DMs for them, and
Mhm.
then continue that engagement, like, on the daily basis that I'm doing it. And then the coaches, it's a collaborative effort, so they'll jump in there and respond to
Mhm.
DMs if I'm not in their Instagram at the moment. And then I'll help to nurture those conversations to the point where they're ready to be pitched to, and then they will hop in and handle that part.
Oh, awesome. So yeah, it's a collaborative thing for sure. Awesome. I love to get like some little insights like this into your work. It's really, really interesting. So what would you say is the number one key to your success today?
I honestly think it was niching down because before
Mm-hmm.
that, I think I had landed one client and then it had been 2 months and I didn't have any more clients yet. And once I niched down, I booked out my services within 2 months. And so I feel like, and listening to my audience, because if I hadn't listened when they had told me this is what we're interested in, this is what we want help with, then my business
Mm-hmm.
wouldn't be where it's at today.
Exactly. And I know you talk also a lot about, intentionality. What is it about being intentional that's so important online?
So for me, it's about having a plan when you're coming to do your lead gen and engagement, knowing who you're going to engage with that day and what type of engagement you're going to do. Because I find a lot of people don't tend to have a lead gen and engagement strategy. So they'll hop on Instagram and have the best intentions, but then, end up just scrolling for half an hour and, nothing's really been
Mm-hmm.
accomplished. Or they'll just engage with whoever's on their feed, but maybe miss out on like their warmest or hottest leads. And
Mm-hmm.
so I find that having a leads tracker and knowing, okay, this is who I haven't talked to in a while, this is who I need to talk to today, really helps to not only be efficient, but also to be effective. And then also to really just be intentional about focusing on that personal connection, building those relationships, and
Mm-hmm.
creating that foundation before you even think of trying to pitch to somebody.
Awesome. I love this. Oh my gosh. Okay, cool. So I ask everyone this on the podcast. What does being a powerful leader mean to you?
Ooh, I love that question. um, I think to me, it really means being able to pursue what it is that you're passionate about and that really kind of, lights that fire in you and being able to go after that unapologetically. Because
Mm-hmm.
I think so often, especially as women, that we're afraid to go after our dreams, that we put our balance ahead of us first. And then we don't end up doing the things that we love to do, or end up just wishing or regretting that we didn't pursue those dreams.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what I did. Like, I wanted to do this, pursue being an entrepreneur and being on the online space for years, and it took me over 4 years to finally have the courage to pursue that. And
Mm-hmm.
once I did, like, it was the best decision I made. So I think just really owning that and going after it and taking that chance, because even if it doesn't work, or, like, you make a mistake or things like that, it's just a lesson that you can learn and you can pivot and
Mm-hmm.
keep going.
Yes. Ah, I love this. And I'm curious to know like what made you take the leap and say, okay, I'm gonna go for it.
I think for me, it was originally when I had first kind of found out about the online world, like in terms of like coaches and BAs and social media managers and all that kind of stuff online. I had just gone through an unexpected divorce and found myself
Mm-hmm.
like a single mom of two boys. And so I knew I couldn't pursue it at that moment because we were going through this big transition. And so it was really just a matter of kind of stabilizing our world and finding the right timing to pursue that. And so I ran, like another business for several years. And then I really just kind of actually ended up investing in coaches in my life. And I ended up working with a life coach and a nutritionist. And I really just kind of built my confidence back up. And they really helped to kind of give me that push to believe in myself to finally take that step.
Oh my gosh, your story is so inspiring. Thank you so much for sharing that. And I feel like getting that help, getting that coach who's going to support you during your hardships and just like help you keep moving forward is so, so essential. I feel like everyone I've been talking to on the podcast, they've all got some help one way or another. So yeah, I totally relate to this. I love this. Do you have, like any last piece of wisdom that you like to share with our audience?
I think that my biggest recommendation would be to make the lead gen and engagement a priority in your business, because I'd really believe that it's one of the top money making activities in your business. It's what's going
Mhm.
to bring your ideal clients into your audience, and it's going to be what's going to nurture those leads so that when you do go to have your next launch, that you will have people in place already that are going to want to buy from you, and it's going to make selling so much easier. It's going to allow you to impact those lives that you want to with the mission that you have, and it's really going to allow you to take your business to the next level. But you have to be consistent, and you have to be intentional about what you're doing.
Yes, love it. That's a recurring theme on this episode today. Well, thank you so much for sharing all of your knowledge, your story. You are amazing. So, where can people go to connect with you further in the online space?
Well, thank you so much for having me. I can be found on Instagram at christina.wirch, and you can find more lead gen and engagement tips there.
Yay! Well, thank you so much again for everything, and keep shining your light, keep showing up, keep doing you. You are amazing.
Thank you so much. It was great talking to you.
Thank you so much for listening to this episode of the Powerful Female Leaders podcast. If you love this episode, make sure to spread the message, leave a review, and subscribe. I would forever be grateful for you. I also want to hear from you, and I want to know your feedback and your questions for future episodes. So don't be shy, say hi, and send me a message at Powerful Female Leaders Podcast on Instagram. Until then, I'll see you on the next episode.